Hey Kenra, it's your girl Lo, and I have my beautiful friend Ari with us today for an unconventional color tutorial. Ari is wearing a couple rows of hand-tied hair extensions, and she's looking pretty good because the hair extensions introduce so much color into any natural base. So what we're looking at is her grown-in, lived-in color plus these extensions. So what we're gonna focus on today is further customizing some small details to really perfect this look using my favorite Kenra Blue Powder Lightener and some of my ultimate go-to formulas for blending out a seamless tone. Something that happens when you are looking at hair extensions on a client with shorter hair, you can see a disconnect between the shorter layer and the extensions. In this case, it's pretty visible as I'm pointing it out in Ari's hair. So I thought this would be a really great opportunity to show you how I would customize this for her as my client to bring more harmony between this blonde and her natural base in these shorter pieces. Because as a whole, we want it to be really, really soft and blended, and you can see a little disconnect here. Also, what I would like to address is possibly bringing in just a very, very minimal accent highlight here, possibly a few very spaced out ribbons to just connect some of these brighter tones a little higher without losing the depth and richness here. And then as we take you into the toning portion of this, we'll take a look at her extensions. They really look amazing still. Of course, we're gonna move them up, but we have an opportunity to freshen some tone in these lower pieces. So we'll show you what that looks like. I'd like to bring more balance and a deeper root into these bottom pieces as they sit a little bit lower on the nape, and we're gonna just look for overall more thorough blend. Today we're gonna use 30 volume plus the Blue Powder Lightener. If you've seen any of my tutorials, you know this is my favorite because it's just so effective and it gives beautiful, clean, neutral lift. Okay, so it's been a hot second since this underneath section has seen any color. So what I like to do is just alternate between a slice and a weave pattern and just bust that all out. All of these little baby sections, I'm just gonna feather right up into the root or just off the root. We just want a very soft blend. We want a really, really soft blend. So just feathering in the transition here is gonna make that really nice and soft. In between these foils, there's barely enough hair to tip out, so I'm not really worried. Now, as I'm getting towards her length, I'd like to start to tip out, just because you'll be able to see these bolder pieces. So I'm gonna be switching into slice, foil, tip out. So here's a look at a teasy diffused placement just underneath a couple hair extension rows. This is just going to help us balance out the color because all of the wefts are really saturated with blonde dimension. So we're pulling this all together to create a flow between the heavy blonde extensions and her natural. Ari's hair splits with her calic. If I try to part her hair in the middle, it is not going to stay there. So we're just gonna work with her natural part. If you ever wanna find your client's natural part, all you have to do is comb their hair back and then watch where it splits. And that's where you can focus your foil placement. See, there it is. Look at these blended results. I am so happy that we did this because sometimes when we have these really intense hair extension clients come in, the littlest details that make the biggest impact just slip in between the cracks. So this is a really cool viewpoint of how you can approach really customizing hair color around your extension clients' hair placement and really just make all the details come together. So what we ended up doing was we toned her shadow root with a 5N, super simple, and then we balanced out all the golds in her whole entire hair, extensions included, with a 9 PV. You cannot get any simpler than that, and look at how blended it is. Also, I want to point out how little did we do here, just the simplest, like 2 little pieces. It was not ear to ear money piece. It was actually literally just 2 pieces, and look how soft and pretty and blended and intentional that looks. I am so happy with how Ari's hair came out, and we had so much fun with this tutorial. If you love getting inspired with this type of education, please subscribe to the Kenra Professional YouTube now, because there's so much more awesome tutorials on this platform. Also, if you love learning from me, you can follow me in my hair journey on Instagram at @glow_Wheeler Davis.